high-grade Gafran. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert, one of you for 2Rs 2Bs from Gundam.tk, and to go along with the new anime Gundam Age after the Age 1 normal, whose review you can check out, it's time to take a look at number 2 in the series, the first bad guy, the Zaku if you will. It's the high-grade Gafran. This kit went on sale in October of 2011 and sells for 1,200 Japanese yen. In the high-grade Gundam Age, it's number 2 in 1/144th scale. I was interested in the Gafran for about 3 reasons, the first being that high-grade Gundam Age, I was really impressed with the first one that came out, and so if this line continues on with the same kind of quality, it's going to be great. Second of all, it's just an intriguing mobile suit design, and I have to say it's something that confused me a little bit. When you see it in the anime and you see it transform and you see how everything works, I haven't quite figured it out, and it's not like I went back to watch the episode to see how it works, so I figure building the model is going to be the best way. And the third reason is, yes, the Zaku 2 is the most classic bad guy, if only because it got beat up right at the beginning. And this one provides the Zaku fodder at the beginning of the series. For that reason alone, I think it was worth picking up. Looking around the box, it's pretty easy and laid out for new fans. When you look at the plates there, you're going to see, yes, 2 colors, maybe a little bit worrying, but it's fun and it's got colored plastic, easy to put together, and then we get into what it's actually going to look like. And this is painted by a pro, but you can see there it's just the 2 colors with those front skirts really dominating the front view. And on the back you're going to have a tail, which also serves as a weapon, and it can transform into flight mode. No, not fright mode. And they're showing off that that's got that. It's going to have the back feet, or the regular feet, are going to turn into claws when you put them down. The tail mode looks good. The waist skirts flip out and end up being wings. And then you're going to have the beam Vulcans there in terms of weapons, which are coming out of the palm of the hands, which is not a unique feature in Gundam, but certainly something a little bit noteworthy. And you're going to have a big beam rifle in the part, and it's saying that that comes with clear parts, so not just 2 parts it looks like. The camera eye is going to come from a foil seal, and you can bend that beam rifle over the back. In the anime, you could actually see it swing under the arms as well. I wonder if that's something we'll be able to duplicate. To the other side, where if you saw my review of the Age 1 normal or watched the second episode, you can hear a translation in mine and a very cool Japanese voiceover in the cartoon, so why not check that out? There's the actual line art from the anime, and then a little bit of information about how strong this thing just is. Now, here's something that I'm really glad that they do, and something that, especially if they're trying to attract new fans, if you show it off looking great in all the art on the other side, but then the kids put it together and it looks terrible, and I'm thinking of things like how the AGs may turn out in the old first grades or Furui grades or things like that. The fact that they show this unpainted is something they need to do, and to be honest, it looks a little bit plain. I'm hoping it's not that bad once it's out of the box. Speaking of which, when you crack it open, you're going to get polycaps, A-plates, stickers, and a plate of blue, black, and a manual, and nothing else. When you get to look at the plates, another reason that I'm sort of happy to build this is that you'll notice that I build a lot of just plain regular Gundams. And when you do that, you tend to find that all the parts are more or less the same. When you get into building, especially the sort of monstrous MSs like this, you do get a lot more variety in parts that you would never actually see in a Gundam. So it's good to see a bit of variety. Sadly, in terms of variety, you're not going to get a lot in terms of colors, because what they've got on the A plate and here on the C plate is identical. You'd think that if you're doing plates like this, you would do blue, gray, and black, but instead they just went with a very dark gray, or black if you want to call it that. But onto the parts themselves, the first thing you're going to notice is the manipulators there, or the hands or the claws. You've actually got holes down there, which means you're going to have a colored part come through that, which is good to get some color differentiation. You'll notice that you have the commander's antenna for the top of the Char-like helmet, and yes, you're going to get clear green parts for the chest, which sort of begs the question, if you've got clear green parts for the chest, could you not throw in a clear green part for the head and try to do something like light piping? But again, for 1,200 yen, you don't always expect that. A few other interesting parts, it's just going to be neat to see how the head's put together. B plate, same blue as the A plate, and this is where you get into the fact that this is just big molded parts. So if you're looking for fine details, this high-grade Gafran may not be for you, but that's not to say it's not bad. You've got some pretty decent lines, it looks like, there for the large rifle. You've got all the parts that you need for the feet, and those waist skirt parts really do come across as being quite big. It doesn't look like there's going to be too many parts in them when you put them together. Hopefully, though, it provides enough mobility both in transformed and in just regular mode. The C plate is going to give you the other parts that you're going to need for the limbs and what you can sort of call the inner frame, or at least the hinge mechanisms. But what made me happy here is to see that for the large rifle, you're going to have these sort of ammo type clips over there, which should add a little bit of variety, and instead they're not just going to be long blue boring parts. You've actually got some mechanical and weapon looking parts in there that hopefully protrude a little bit just to add a little bit of mechanical warlike war machine realism to the kit. Finally, if you can make it out there, these are the two parts that are going to be used on the face shield. You've got a lower part and an upper part which has a recess, and that recess part is going to put in the green hollow seal, which hopefully should stand out a little bit when it's actually put together. For the hollow seals, I'm thinking of the old 1/100th 00 kits. But you're going to notice the E sticker here, that's going to be the green part for the eyes, and it should fit on pretty well. Just be careful putting it on with tweezers or something, or your modeler's knife. And then you're going to have two small, the A and the I part there, actually go on the side of the head, and the U part at the bottom, that's actually going to go onto the heel of the foot. So I look forward to seeing how that's actually shown off. I like the cover art on the box. You've got lots of room to display it with a little bit of white splash on the left side, and the way the font is written is good. Onto the line art, where you get to see in both its human form and its flight form. But as it goes on, it talks a little about the unknown enemy and how it is. And then, until the Age 1 showed up, how it was pretty much unbeatable. But what I like at the bottom is it says there are color variations. However, how they are separated at this point remains a mystery. It's also going to show off some weapons here. We're talking about the Colony Destroyer, which is used in Episode 2 quite a bit, and I suppose at the end of Episode 1. However, I don't know why they're putting this on the cover and showing off the fact that it could have this cool weapon when they don't bother to include it. When you open it up to the color splash pages, you're going to see that the manipulators really do a good job of looking like claws, although the front paws and back don't quite look the same. The wings look good. The angle of the head, it looks like it really can bend up, and the tail in the back looks impressive. Then we're going to get to talk a little bit more about Bruiser, who's in charge of the colony, and Captain Grudek, who really stole the show, I have to say, in Episode 2. And then you get to show off again that beam rifle swinging over the back, as you get to see a Genoese get blown up there. Now the front mode, it looks very interesting, although the waist skirts are a little bit dull, but this is the part that bugged me. You get into the weapons, and it says it comes with the beam Vulcans and the beam saber, but again, similar to the Colony Destroyer, they're saying that it comes with a beam saber, but they're not going to give it to you, so I don't know why they bother to even write that down. Here's the hand parts with the open and closed ones, and you can see that the Vulcans, even in flight mode, do look quite impressive. There they are, the beam Vulcan guns, the clear parts, hopefully that works out well for the chest. But this is really going to be the interesting part, to see just how flexible that is. And then they get into the ZS. Here it's an unknown enemy on top of this regular unknown enemy, which will be showing up as of about the end of Episode 2, if not Episode 3, where it may be the main protagonist. And here's the color guide, yes, just two colors along with the sensor green. To the inside, where it's very similar to the Age 1, 40 yen a pop to replace missing parts. You're going to build the body. It takes up a fair chunk of space. The head, where you'll put on the 3 different stickers. Build the arms, build the legs, put it all together, including the weapons. And once you've done that, you're going to build the chest first, then the legs and waist. Then you're going to build the tail and put on the wings. And once you do that, you've got this positioned. And then the back colors page is going to show you how to transform it. So pop out the hands, twist the arms, bring the shoulders forward, bring up the back of the head, and then move the whole head back. And then you're going to use a double knee joint, which is good to see. Hopefully it doesn't cause any problems when it's in regular mode. And then flop this part around so that you've got the heel up, so you've got the claws down, and that's where you're going to be able to move the tail and swing the wings up. And with an action base 2, it is going to come with a part or an attachment point so that you can get this up and mobile in the air for hopefully a few more dynamic poses. So that'll wrap up my unbox here of the Gafran, and I have to say that as somebody who builds too many Gundam type suits, it's good to see the kind of variety we've got there, even though there isn't a lot of variety with the colors, but hopefully that's something that we're going to see in the future with some sort of enemy aces or even somebody with a mask on. So why don't you let me know what you think with a comment down below about the Gafran, how it showed up in the first couple episodes, and what you think of the actual plastic on the inside or the design of the suit itself. Anyway, everybody, I'm looking forward to having an antagonist for this guy, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next part where I have all the parts and then it all gets put together and transformed and the final verdict. Thanks for sticking around, and don't forget to check out the anime reviews as well. See you next time, everybody. I'm just sort of happy that every video after this isn't just gonna star this guy spinning around on a turntable.